another episode of Crafts with Julie, and today we are working some more on our Valentine's wreath, so stay tuned. Alrighty, so as you see, I have my heart template. I believe we discussed this in the last video, but I wanted to show you how I got one of the red ones done. I'm almost through with a white one, and this one has the white one's been wanting to kind of spread out, so I've been having to take it kind of easy. It's been wanting to kind of just break apart. So sometimes be careful about your yarn on the quality of it. Sometimes you get cheap yarn and it's cheap yarn. But since this one is almost done up, we are going to just kind of cross it underneath. Well, let's see, here we go. Get it through some other loops on the back so that our yarn stays where we want it to and doesn't come undone. And then clip off that excess. I have another piece of the white just kind of sitting by, ready to go. So we're going to kind of get that ready, and I've almost got that done on there. And I haven't gone through and done any wording on this yet. I wanted to get all my hearts done first before doing that. Let's see, we're going to go right there. Don't pull all the way, keep it just right there. And then pull that on through. I think also what might have been trying to get my yarn to separate was the fact of going through all these corners and pulling it through against other sections of yarn, and that the holes were getting tight. The more yarn you pull through it, it gets harder and harder to pull through. And so I think that was something else that was contributing to my yarn trying to separate. And so you just keep on doing that. You just continue. Don't pull it too tight, because if you pull your yarn too tight going around these corners, then you don't get that full look that you're wanting. Because if you pull it too tight, then you really have to work at it to get it to cover the corners of your canvas. So you just keep going through like that and just kind of hold it in place until you get your next loop done. And you just continue that all the way around, just over and over, repeating the same process until you get all of your corners filled in. Okay, just like that. Remember, just give it a little bit of tension, but not tight. Keep it just a little bit loose. Just like that. Just keep threading that through. Don't get into a hurry. You want to try and hold your yarn just a little bit with your fingers, because as you're pulling it through, you're going to be inadvertently twisting your yarn. So you want to sometimes hold it because it will knot up on you. And if you go too big of a hurry, which you see me in other videos, that it knots itself up just kind of loosely, but it makes a knot and it gets caught on the back side, and I go to pull it through and it yanks my canvas out of my hand. So you want to just kind of be careful about that, because if you're doing it where there's a lot of people around, you're going to send that thing flopping and flying through the air like that right there. See, it slipped through my hand. And if you have people around you, it's going to fly and hit somebody. So just try and keep an eye on that. There. Okay. Nice and loose. Just keep wrapping that around. Okay, and that one moved where I did not want it to, so sometimes you just have to kind of move it with your needle or your fingernail or something just to get it where you'd like it to go. Oh, I went through the wrong hole. That's what I get for having it upside down. I was going through the back side. Okay, there we go. See? Easy fix. And then just keep on pulling it through. You get that nice full look. And I somehow got some green thread in here. I think I pulled some fuzzies off of this with my yarn. And I got green in there, and I don't want green in that. Okay, so we're going to finish this one up. And then I'm going to show you the centerpiece of the wreath that's going to hang down the middle. I got it all finished up using this exact same technique whenever I was putting the front and the back sides together. I just did them together. Whew. The fuzzies from the yarn are flying up and tickling my nose. That is about the only downside to working with yarn and canvas, because it just kind of breaks up that thread, that yarn, and it sends little fuzzies all through the air. I have definitely learned that if I'm going to drink something while I'm doing this, it has a lid, because these fuzzies float through the air and then they'll land in your cup eventually. So nice little tip there for you. Keep your drinks covered. Oh, see, it did it again. I'm getting excited because I just about had this one finished, and I've got a few more I want to go and do, because I'm going to have one for each section of the wreath, hopefully. Kind of just depends on how I feel. Oop. And see, another thing that helps it do that is because it's twisting while you're looping it around. So just take it and hold it off to the side and let it just slowly unwind and untwist itself. And then sometimes taking it from here and then just going like this down the whole length of your yarn will help it spin and untwist itself. And so we just continue. Remember to hold it so you get it where you want it to go on the corner, but not too tight, okay? And see how it's starting to kind of feather out the yarn a little bit. It's not as tightly packed as it was for that fresh yarn. It's because of going through here and pulling it through, it's starting to kind of break it apart and loosen it up a little bit. But that's okay. We are almost done. And looks like maybe one more kind of loop to help secure it there. All right. Okay. Let me just bring it on through here, because I think what I'm going to do to help secure this to our wreath is to probably use some yarn that we can tie on the back side of the wreath, and I can just have it attached to my needle like this, so I can just kind of go through the threading here on the back side to help kind of create a loop or what have you, and then I can just pull it through all my fabric on my wreath and get it tied on that way. So now we have 2 of our hearts to put on our wreath. I'm going to put those off to the side in my needle. And then I wanted to show you guys the centerpiece. I'm probably going to get a white yarn, since that's what I used to do the border on each side. And then I'll kind of loop it through here a couple of times, you know, little doop right there, and have it pull back and then have it hanging from the middle side. But I got my lettering done. I just kind of guessed on some of the lettering on the height of it, but I believe these end up being about 7 holes or squares high on each letter. And I just went through and kind of made my best judgment on where to place the letters and stuff, make it fit. Got the Be Mine and then Love on this side. I'm probably going to do something like maybe hug or hugs on this one, or kisses. I'm not quite sure. I might just leave these blank and then just tie them on. I don't know. I might make some of them kind of a conversation heart candy. I'm not sure. And let's see. We're going to make one more of these like this. Okay, hang on just a second, guys. Okay. Answering a little text message there. Did I make that square too big? I think I ended up making this just a hair too big, which is fine because it keeps me from having to cut off all these little pieces here. Oh, that is such a pain, and it's very tedious, and they go everywhere. So if you remember, just kind of hold your template on top and hold it as still as you can. Or if you have any of those little brads that I was telling you about that have the little prongs that fold back, that is definitely something good to have. I wish I could find mine to show you. I know I've got a whole little Tupperware tub full of those. Okay. Just almost got this top piece. Be very careful getting that middle piece cut. You don't want to cut the wrong part, and then you have to scrap that whole section of your canvas. Okay, turn it carefully, keeping it together so you don't mess up your pattern. And then just keep on cutting. Trying to hold my hand where I'm not blocking the camera. I think I was. Okay. And then, yeah, just keep on going down the sides. And you can use the same pattern And you can expand it however you need to get to the size that you want it. That is just the great thing about stuff like this. You can adapt what you're working on to suit your needs, to fit your needs on how you want it to look. Okay. Get all this extra off and out of our way. Okay. Come on, get back on there. All right. And then the other side. Super easy, guys. I've seen some people go through with a either like a small pair of scissors or a rotary cutter. I don't particularly like that method, just because to me you can't get as accurate, for me, in my opinion. This is what works for me, doing it with a pair of cutters like this that you can get in their Fiskars brand, any brand you want to get. These people are not, they don't sponsor me or anything like that. This is just a pair that I was given many years ago, and they're still working fairly good. There's a few little divots in it, some slight divots from use for so many different years. But that's how you get your hearts all cut out. All right. And they'll be good to get me, you know, a little bit more done. Probably take some to work with me tomorrow, do on my breaks. Now, this part would definitely be easier if you had a rotary cutter and a nice cutting mat like for quilting that has the grid and your measurements on there. That would be nice. I don't happen to have one of those right now, but I'm sure eventually in the future I'll be able to get one. So I've kind of got it started. I'm probably going to I don't know if I want to do a row of this particular fabric and then do another row and then kind of change it up, or if I want to just kind of zigzag everything and just kind of have it all muddled together and just have all randomness. Not quite sure. But what I did for this right here, you don't want it to be huge, because if you have too long of pieces, then it's just going to kind of hang there, and it's, to me, it might not look right. So I took one whole square. I got a nice big stack here of these fat quarters. I love these things, and they have all these different patterns. So I went through and I found red and pink in my stack. And look at that pretty floral right there. I love that. And these little daisies, so cute. This one's got some cute pink and white polka dots on it. But what I did, I cut these, not with those scissors, I cut these about 1 inch wide or so. But once I got them cut, I cut them in half just to make it easier. So we might kind of cut it in half now. Since I got it folded. You can do it either way. Keep your fabric tight. And with this, I don't think it really matters completely whether you cut, you know, with the grain, against the grain. I don't think it really matters, because little bits of strings of fabric are going to come off no matter what. But if you cut it in half first, it might make it easier to cut your strips. And these, anywhere from 1 inch, 1.5 inches. To me personally, I don't think you need to be totally accurate. My scissors are not the sharpest for cutting fabric with, and I am definitely not cutting straight, but that's okay. You don't have to be perfect with it. Make them big or small. I think if you have varying sizes of widths. I think that to me kind of helps add a little bit of character to it. Makes it look just a little bit more homemade. Now that I did not mean to do. But that just goes to show you, I am definitely no professional, no expert. I do this for fun because I enjoy doing this type of stuff. I love to try and be crafty and make things. Ah! Yeah, see? Definitely not even. So if you had a rotary cutter, it would be a whole lot easier than trying to use these dull scissors like I'm trying to. But you know what? That adds an element of adventure, fun, what have you. Give you something to laugh at yourself about. Just so long as you enjoy what you're doing. So see, there we got a bunch of strips there. So let's see. Now what I did with these, I just kind of took the strip that I cut and kind of folded it in half. And we'll just come down here, take it and just tie a single knot in it. And whoop, slide that right up there like that. Fold that in half. Whoop. There we go. And that's how we continue with that. You know what? I think while we're at this, we're going to put this one off to the side. I'm going to use a little bit darker one here, I think. We're just going to kind of change it up. So yes, typically you want to have as sharp a scissors as you can for cutting fabric with. There we go. Hope I can get that to separate. All right, start down here. Let's go right there. So if you want to try and measure it out, go right on ahead and measure it out. Or if you just want to kind of eyeball it, to me, just sitting here and eyeballing it, it's helping it go a lot faster. And again, if you had a rotary cutter, it would definitely go a lot faster. Just make sure if you're going to do the rotary cutter, you've got a cutting board underneath it, like one used for quilting or what have you, so you can get your straight lines, and it just goes so much faster. It also, from what I have kind of read, if you were to have a little ruler or something like that to give you a guideline to go by, you just run that rotary cutter right along through there and cut that. And that'd make it so much easier, and it would make a nice clean cut. Or you can just kind of be like me and just kind of wing it. Okay. Good. Let's see. We're going to cut this one in half and make these kind of wide pieces. All right. So let's see here. Fold it in half. single knot. There we go. So yeah, if you want to kind of do it by each piece of your fabric, so you have like all of one kind together, or if you want to just take it and mix it up, I think that's what I just might do for this one, is just take it and mix it up. I think that right there would just really make it kind of pop. So what you guys think? Yeah? So that's probably what I'm going to do between this time, this video, and the next one. I will probably go through and cut a bunch more of the strips, just get them nice and cut. That way I can go through and I can zigzag back and forth between my patterns of my fabric here. That way I can really mix it up really good, because I have a lot of cute choices in here. I got some stripes here, this real pretty floral. I got kind of like this, what do they call it, like a buffalo check or plaid right there. I like that. And here's some kind of hot pink. And then here's my red. So we'll see. Some of it I might try to save for maybe a Memorial Day or a 4th of July. But good thing of where I work at, I can get some more stuff like this if I want to do a 4th of July one. So that might be something to kind of look forward to in the future. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. So that kind of gives you an idea. And then we'll have that kind of hanging down the middle. That way it can kind of flop back and forth, because I'm pretty sure as the door swings open and shut, that's going to make that kind of bounce and flop. So yeah, I think that's going to look pretty cute. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think we're going to like this when we're all done with it. All right, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed that and you have a little bit clearer idea of where this project is going. I cannot wait to get it done. Hopefully will get done before Valentine's Day, because I want it to hang on my door, but we will see. Yeah, this one, it's hopefully just going to be a 3-part, at least one more part. I'm going to try and get the rest of the stuff finished up so we can put this thing together and see what it's going to look like all put together. So if you guys have any comments or any suggestions or anything like that, you want to see me do something different in a future video, just let me know what you guys are thinking below the video. And as always, you guys have an awesome day.